Yeah. So if you're going to make silly faces and ask questions, now's the time to do it. We're going to record it so that everybody can use this later. So once you're in the Facebook Ads Manager and you want to create a campaign, we're going to hit green button, create, and then we're going to select new campaign. So depending on what you're trying to create is your type of campaign. For the omnipresent one, it's going to be reach. For the buyer's lead one, it is lead generation. So quick, before I get too deep into it, do you guys have a CRM set up? Do any of you use a CRM?
Our company has a proprietary system called the IMS. It is amazing. It's kick-ass. It would be similar to Follow Up Boss with some caveats.
Okay, perfect. Do you guys allow outside integration of lead import like an API?
Well, we have some different things that our corporate office manages the whole thing. I don't know how much I know we do things with Facebook to generate leads for our company stuff, but I don't know for the personal Facebook if they allow how they're managing this. I'm sure that they've had people in other markets that needed it. So we'd have to just touch base with them to see how it would interact with what you're getting ready to tell us.
Oh, perfect. And what we can do too, Brett, is we can follow up after. And if they say, hey, yeah, we do it, we can talk about it. I can do a little explainer video that gets sent out to everybody on how to integrate it. So if there's a setting section that allows like Facebook lead import, we can just do a quick video together and explain how to set it up so that you guys can use it. I personally think lead gen is the best for real estate as opposed to any of these other ones, just because we get what we want. First name, last name, email address, phone number, and questions answered.
Yeah, I'll have to touch base with our corporate guy. I know Alicia's done some stuff where she's input the leads manually, and I can't remember if they've got an import function with our CRM or not.
No, you have to email corporate, and it has to be a sizable enough file and that it's not going to clog up, and they require that you follow up with all your leads. And then it's a CSV file that they need, and then corporate will download it, but you have to get permission.
That's for leads that are already generated. So let me find out if there's a way to do what Anthony's talking about, Alicia. I'll look into it.
And if not, no worries. You guys can always do messages. It works the same way. The only difference is the lead form is going to go into our CRM. So it'll get followed up with and worked how we would normally work and operate. Whereas if our CRM doesn't allow it, totally fine. It'll just go to messages and you guys would just use your Facebook Messenger to chat back and forth with people. Everything else is going to be the same. The only difference in the two types of ads is where the lead is going. It's either going to go to your messenger or it's going to go to your CRM. So don't let that deter you from running ads. Don't let that deter you from generating more business for yourself. We'll follow up, I'm sure, and get the answer. But for today, we're just going to go with.
If you pick lead generation, it has to go to a CRM. There's nothing else that it will go to.
No, it'll go to it. It automatically goes to a CSV file, so you can download it and go through it. We can send it to a smart form in Google, to where you'll get like an update in Google, and it'll just say, hey, new lead we can send it to your email address. There's a million different ways to do it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. So if any of you are familiar with Zapier, it's just an API key. So it allows things like this to pull the data and send it somewhere else. So what we could do is just say, hey, when a new lead is created in Facebook, I want it to go to my email. So it'll just email you hot new lead, first name, last name, email address, phone number, their information, straight over to you. And that's not too hard to set up. I can help you again set all that stuff up, guys. So for this campaign, lead generation, we're always going to want to name our campaigns, and you can see in the background why. As you do more and more campaigns, you're going to get more and more stuff. So you want to know, hey, if I am getting the email and it says from what ad, it wants to be specific. So if we're doing the buyers one, we're just going to go 123 Main Street. So the name of it and then what it was. Bye, Irvin. Thank you for coming to the class. But for the campaign, again, just the name, what was it? 123 Main Street was the address that we were advertising, and we're looking for buyers leads. The ad set name. So this is going to be your audience. This one, it can be open to the public. Las Vegas. Oh man. Open to the public. Las Vegas homeowners. The reason why we want to name this here is as we create different ad sets, if we duplicate them out or we make any changes, we can take this apart and adjust it later on. So if we're seeing that, hey, maybe we're advertising only to men or only to women or only to people that like IKEA and Lowe's and Home Depot, or people that engage with Keller Williams, we can go through and break these apart and segment them in a way that later on we can see if we're getting any ad bleed, which just means we're spending money in other places. For the sake of today, guys, you don't have to worry about duplicating. Make it as simple as possible. Name of the campaign, the ad set, and the ad will just say video or photos, whichever you had. This shouldn't be overly complicated. If I start complicating it, tell me and I will slow it down. But in here, you'll see again, those 3 sections. Think of your campaign as what do you want this to do? The ad set, who do you want it to go to? And the ad, what do you want them to see? So that's the easiest way to understand and kind of digest what these 3 sections are. What do you want it to do? Who do you want it to go to? What do you want them to see? In here, you have to select special ad category in housing. The reason is your Facebook business page is going to say you're a real estate agent. So if you come in here and you try to get around having a special ad category and say, well, oh no, I'm not advertising homes for sale, so that you get a couple extra detailed targeting, those being things that we can't like discriminate against. We used to, back in the day, be able to say, I only want to market to people who make 6 figures or more a year, and then show them $1 million homes. Like that's, we used to be able to, the heyday of Facebook ads, but not anymore. So those targeting options are taken out, which is fine. Special ad category, housing, every time. Country is going to be auto-populated. You don't have to click on really anything else in here. If you wanted to turn on budget, your daily budget, and adjust it here, you can. What turning this on does is it says, hey, I have $10 a day for 10 days. It's telling Facebook, here's $100. If you want to spend $15 one day and $5 another day, go for it. If you notice that these days you have more people on the platform, or I'm getting more hits today and I want to boost my budget up, totally fine. It really doesn't affect it too much. I will say though, if you are running shorter campaigns, if you're running campaigns that are going to be less than 10 days, keep this off. If you're willing to run a campaign for a little bit longer, maybe you did run this campaign and you saw that it worked well for you and you want to run leads and you're going to do it for 30 days, turn it on then. But for shorter campaigns, leave it turned off, because what you don't want to happen is it to spend your whole budget in one day and not have it spread out throughout those 10 days. It's just best for longer campaigns. Do you guys have any questions about this section right here? Awesome. In the second one is saying who it wants to go to. You'll see, again, different things. You don't have to click on a majority of these things. Instant forms is already where we want it to go. Do not click calls, please. Don't do it. Calls only work in small communities like Elko, Nevada, because people don't want to fill out forms. They want to call your phone. Very, very old school. In Vegas, calls do not work. Instant form, leave it the way it is. Make sure your business page is selected here. I know as real estate agents, a lot of us are hustlers and we have side jobs, and maybe we own a different company or we do other things. So just make sure that this is the right one and not any of your others. This is the actual Facebook page that you want to market or advertise. Dynamic creative, you don't have to turn it on, leave it alone, because we're creating one type of campaign for this one. If you're curious what dynamic creative does, has anybody ever been to Sonic? like Sonic Drive-In, the sodas. You know how they say we have over 500,000 different varieties of soda, but they only have 12 soda flavors. But they can add in this kind of sauce and cherries, and they can add strawberries, and it kind of multiplies them out. All this does is create your ad like Sonic. It'll take your 5 main images and your 5 different headlines and your 5 different blanks and mishmash them together to find what works best. We're not going to go 555. We're going to create one. We're keeping it simple. Leave it off. Don't mess with catalog. Don't worry about optimization and delivery. This will throttle your ads. We're just going to leave it alone. Our budget, if you didn't set your budget on the last one, make sure you set your budget here. You want to set a budget and you want to set an end date. Please, please, please set an end date. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten calls over the last 6 years where people have come to a class like this and they didn't set an end date. And then I get a call later. Hey, I just got a charge from Facebook for $600. What did you do? What do you mean? We go in, we find it. They didn't set an end date. And without them knowing, Facebook continually ran the ad. They kept getting leads or they kept getting whatever, but it kept running it. I've had people yell at me because of it. I've had people knock down my door, all kinds of stuff. Set an end date so you know you're only going to spend a certain amount of money. Daily budget, $10, end date, minimum 10 days for however long. Because if you create the ad today and you forget about it and you're getting leads and stuff and they go there, Facebook is not scared to take their money. They will automatically hit that card every time they get a chance. Mm-hmm. Our second section is our audience. What we're going to want to do here is we're going to click on locations and we're going to hit edit. And then we're going to change this to people living in this location. We're going to go Las Vegas. And I know what a lot of people will ask me here is, hey, why am I only going for people living here? What if I want to do relocation? And Vegas is so transient that we're always getting tourists and people coming in and out from different states, cities, countries, etc. What if I want to target them? Totally fine. Go for it. But for the sake of this ad, people living in this location. If you wanted to do a relocation ad, you can change it to people traveling in this location. So now it's just people that are visiting, people who live other places and are visiting Vegas. Do what you want for different ones. For this one, people living in this location, so we know that they're looking to buy. And then you can set targets if you wanted to. For your first ad, this is all you have to do. Set it to Las Vegas. Don't change anything else. That campaign I showed you that had the $4 leads, this was the audience. Same exact audience. We didn't get detailed and say Keller Williams, Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, all the way down the line. We didn't do any of the interactions. We just left it blank. And the reason why is Facebook is amazing at finding people that will like your ad. They have a great AI system built in that goes through and looks at everything about people, collects the data points, understands that you have a real estate business, understand what your ad is going for, and find people that will best match it. If you wanted to get more detailed, you can, but honestly, in the beginning, don't. Cast a wide net as much as you can. You don't want to diminish your daily results. On this page, though, I do want to have something that you guys will change. You're going to see two things here underneath. It's placements. So what your placement actually means is, where do I see your ad online? Facebook has a bunch of different places that you don't know that they run. They have an audience network. So Facebook actually partners with large sites like the New York Times website, CNBC, NBC, Fox, all of these like large news stations, blogs, articles, and they run your ads in these places as well. Turn it off. Don't worry about it. Turn off audience network, leave it on Facebook and Instagram, and only run ads to feeds and stories and reels, because you're going to be paying for impressions anyway. And we know these are the places where people actually click on ads. The other stuff's cool because, oh, I get to get seen here, or I'm saw on search, or but they're not going to click on it. That's just the truth of it. If they're going through an article online, how many times do you skip through? Like, you ever Google a recipe? Like, tonight I want to make enchiladas. And then you're scrolling down, you have to go all the way to the bottom to see the enchilada recipe, but you have to go through 50 ads. Those are the type of ads that you're seeing. They're partnered with Facebook and other places. So XNAM, it's not going to mess with your reach, but it's going to optimize how your ad's going to actually perform. It's kind of cool though. You get to control that, you know. But think about it. I've talked a lot on this screen. The only thing we've really done here is set our budget and our end date, put in Las Vegas, and set our placement. So even though I spoke a lot about this screen, it's not a lot of clicking. But I'm just trying to inform you guys on the other stuff. But just don't get overwhelmed by, me talking. Instagram account, we want to make sure it's the right one. So this is what people are going to actually see. This will be the ad itself. So when we're setting up the ad, you have the option of a single image or a carousel. They're both going to work the same way. Don't use a single image. If you're going to do a video, this would be a slideshow. Carousel, multiple photos. When we're setting up real estate ads, we want to make sure that there's multiple photos. You don't just want the front facing picture of the house. You want to show off some of the stuff. Think about the main things that people want to see in a home. They want to see the front of the house, the back of the house, the kitchen, master bedroom, and the bathroom. So make sure that is included in here. So we'll go carousel. Actually, let's go. So what I did real quick, just so you guys see, we said single image or video, and then we actually said create video. And we're going to make our video in here. That way you don't have to worry about third-party video creators or anything like that. So we're going to go through and select our images. We're going to say, okay, well, I want the front of the house. I want to get the kitchen. I want to get the master bedroom, the loft, a couple more shots of the kitchen. I want to see if I have a backyard picture in here as well.
And was there a different time you uploaded all these photos?
Yeah, if you guys want to, if you want to upload the photos, if you don't have them in your account already, so if you've posted them on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see them in here. If you haven't posted them yet on Facebook or Instagram, you can upload, and then you can go through and click on the one you want to upload. So if you had like a folder of different stuff that had the images of the home in there, you could just select it. Let me see, I got one right here. So we can use this one as an example. This is a new listing. We want to show like front of the house. So we can click that, and then it uploads the photo for us. And now we can select that photo.
Got it.
So have the folder on your desktop, just makes it easier. Then you can go through and select images. Just deselect these real quick. So this would be our slideshow. You can change different things, seconds per scene. You can add transitions if you wanted to fade. The best way to do it though, no transition, 2 seconds per scene. It gives people enough time to see everything, and it doesn't make it kind of corny, where you had like fading in and fading out and all that stuff. You can always have the option to change it to where it could swipe. So if you wanted to swipe between photos instead, you could do that as well. I usually use either just a slideshow or swipe for the images, and then you hit create video and it starts making it for you. So while that's uploading, we're just going to go through and add some text. So again, we want to break it down to interest, info, call to action. So these are our 3 sections. So for interest, we're going to say
While he's typing, guys, just remember, this stuff is all brand new to you, so it's a little confusing. That's why Anthony said reach out to him anytime, just FYI.
so that's the same breakdown. So we want to go grab their interest, give them some information, and give them a call to action. And as you're going through it, don't be afraid of emojis. I've actually tested with emojis and without emojis before, and emojis win every time. I'm sure I've told you guys that before, but a lot of people like emojis, man. We speak in hieroglyphics anymore, you know. It grabs a little bit more attention. It gives more life to your home, to your ad, to all of it. You can go in here and even put little, you know, star eyes. If you're doing the ad where you talk about, hey, don't lose money, use the money bag. You know, people are not afraid of emojis. It doesn't make your business look less professional because you're using an emoji. This is social media. It's meant to be social. Our headline here is going to be for more photos, price, and pics, or price and info. And then again, a little emoji of an arrow, just telling them to click on this button. So I know we're going to give them the price in here. I know we already give them the photos in here, and we're giving them info in here. So it seems silly. Why is that my headline? Well, it kind of insinuates that there might be more information, or there might be more photos about this house, or other things that they can get. So this is what your ad would start to look like. Your call to action should always be learn more. That's going to be this button. And this is your ads creative. This is what they'll see. So nothing crazy. This doesn't have to be some insane video that was made by a videographer. We made it inside of Facebook, just a quick slideshow that shows off the home. And the last part for this ad that you're going to use for all of your ads is a form. So Facebook has a built-in form for you. You can go in here and create it. You can adjust it. I can share my forms with you. I can send you a link and you guys can have them in yours. If you fill out the form that I put in, I'll actually send you my forms and stuff. But what the form looks like is an intro where you're giving them a headline, telling them a little bit about what they're doing, and then you can ask them questions. I've seen people basically do a full 1003 inside of forms before, where they ask every question except for like social security numbers to see who's going to fill it out. We're not going to get that intense. Our form should be simple. So let me actually just make it easier for the sake of the video. We're just going to say duplicate form, but you guys will hit create form. You're going to name it so you know what it is. This would either be buyers or sellers. You're only going to have to make this form once. You don't have to make this form for every single ad. You do it one time and it's done. Form type, more volume, your intro. You can select an image that'll go behind it. So it could be a picture of a home. It could be your logo, your branding. I would suggest something about Las Vegas. I would suggest either your own photo in the back, your brand, your company logo, something like that. I wouldn't do the picture of the home, but that's just me. Greeting should be looking to buy in Las Vegas area, or if it's a seller's, are you curious about selling your house? Here's why you should do it. Give them a little bit more information. Inside of the actual class, the guide, I have the form breakdown in here for you. So you'll be able to see everything I use in my form later on. For the sake of not holding you guys for 2 hours, I'm just going to go to that later. I'll let you guys look in the slides, but we're going to want to have a headline in here. We need information in here telling them what they're going to get. And then the fun part is setting up questions. You get to ask them questions. It's not just first name, last name, email address, phone number. You can ask them what describes their situation. Are they a first time home buyer? Do they want to sell their home and move to Vegas? Are they looking for investment properties? And then I always throw one that's kind of off the wall. I have a real colloquial style, so it fits me. But this one says, just curious, bro, calm down with all the questions. Now it sounds super unprofessional. Like, why put that in there? But it's basically a way for them to opt out without actually opting out of the entire form. So if your style isn't real colloquial like that, totally fine. You don't have to say, bruh. You don't have to say, calm down. All you could say is not curious at the, or just curious at this time, not really looking to buy or sell, which, hey, put them on a drip campaign. They're not ready right now, but it lets you at least understand before having to call the leads where they're at. So this is a question that I really like, what describes their situation. And that way, you know, when you get their lead form, it says Anthony Mendoza, their phone number, their email, and their situation. So it gives you some ammo before calling them to understand what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And then the other questions that we ask are first name, last name, email, phone number. When you do this, don't get too trigger happy. You cannot ask them their marital situation. Sometimes it gives you the option to. Don't do that. Don't ask them their zip code, their job title, anything like that. The more questions you ask, the less likely you are for them to get through the form. So that's why I try to do one question that kind of weeds them out to get you an idea of where they're at, and then their contact information. The privacy screen. If you don't have a privacy policy of your own, go to Easy Street's website. At the very bottom of their page, they have one. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see privacy, legal notes, and you just take this link, you copy it, and now inside of your ads, you're just going to paste it here. That's it. Now, after they're done, it's going to throw them a little pop-up screen that just says, thank you for completing it. Here, you can give them the option to fill out an application online, to call your business. So you can either send them to your online website, or you can just have them click a button and call you right away. You put your phone number in here. So just a second way to get their info, second way to have them take another step. Once you've done all that fun stuff, you hit publish. Once you guys do this once or twice, this whole thing should only take you about 5 to 10 minutes. I know it's taken me a lot longer because I kind of go into detail on everything, but when you do this, this whole thing should only take you about 5-10 minutes, and it should be generating you leads while you sleep, while you work, while you do other things. That is the entire ad. That's the ads manager. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Don't start clicking a bunch of other buttons. Just remember, create your campaign, 3 steps, make sure it's something that people would want to see, hit publish, and you're good to go.
After you hit the publish button, it'll just run for the 10 days and stop, right?
Yep. So if I hit publish, it's going to publish my ads. and then it's going to take me back to the ads manager showing that it's in process right now. So it'll be processing for the next couple of hours just to make sure that I'm not discriminating, that I'm not putting anything bad up online to advertise to people. But once it's done processing, I'm going to get a notification on my phone. All of you will, that your ad is live. And then you'll start seeing more reach go in. You'll start seeing ads come into your Facebook ads manager. If you have it connected to your CRM, you'll see that as well. You'll start seeing activity after that.
And are you going to show us like the screen where the leads, the information for the lead comes in, or is it just all, like you said earlier, you were talking about it could send an email, but if we did nothing, where would it be going now?
Yeah, so if you did nothing at all for the leads, what you could do is you see like this one right here, it says buyers leads. If you click on the campaign that had the leads in it, we can go here. And we can download them. So click on your campaign in campaigns, and then click on the third tab over here on the right, and you'll see it highlighted in blue. And this will download all of our leads for us. So just like Alicia said earlier, you need a CSV file. This will automatically put those leads into a CSV file, and then we can download them right to our computer. And
then the email setup, that's a different type of setup, right? You can help us with that if we need to later on.
Yeah, so the email setup is going to be through a third-party application. It's called Zapier. And we would just create a Zapier account. We'd link our Facebook to it. And what it would do is every time a lead gets generated in Facebook, it'll just it'll grab the data and send it to our email.
Is that a free service, Zapier?
Yeah, so if you have up to 3 campaigns, it's free. So you can do like their free version, and then they have paid campaigns. So it's 5, sorry. So 5 zaps made. If you want more, then it's $20, but we should be able to do what we need with 5 of them. 1 for buyers, 1 for sellers, 1 for warm leads. And then it gives you 2 open spots if you want to do like relocation or anything else like that.
And then if the CRM setup can be done, that's something that's just a custom setup for each CRM.
Yep. So if it can be done in your CRM, normally there's a section in your settings that'll say like lead import or integrations. And we can go through that, and it'll just have us, most of the time it's sign into Facebook. It says, okay, allow blank CRM to make changes to your Facebook. We allow it. And then we select the page that we want it to work with, and then hit okay. And then it'll automatically pull in.
Yeah, currently I'm pretty sure we don't have that import option with our CRM, but I will see if it's in works or what's going on, like I said earlier. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. And with any of that, if you guys need help with it, let me know, because I can help you create that integration. I can help you run through it. I honestly, I stare at this screen right here that you guys see probably 60 hours a week. Like I almost have a full-time job doing this right here, just making sure that campaigns run, checking to monitor how they work, all of that stuff. So I'm really in the weeds on it. Also, I have access to Facebook concierges because I spend so much inside of Facebook, so that if you guys ever have issues with your Facebook business page, with your Instagram account, with anything like that, let me know. If you get shadow banned, if your account gets hacked, if somebody takes over control of your stuff, anything like that, call me and let me know, because I have resources at Facebook that can help get those things fixed, get them pushed through. If you have ads that aren't running, anything like that. So if it has to do with Facebook or Instagram, let me know. I can help you get it sorted and squared away. We have some Facebook concierges,
Very good to know. That was a lot for everybody, but the takeaway from this should be Anthony's the expert, and when you need to do this, you have to call him.
Yeah.
Because trying to do it yourself can be frustrating. And I think that's what stops a lot of us, right? We start doing something and we're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how to do it. It's overwhelming.